Hey crafters, Happy New Year to you. Hope you had a nice holiday, got to have some fun, maybe eat some tasty treats, maybe even get a little rest, all those good things. By the time you're watching this, it will be into the new year, but when I'm filming it right now, it's actually a few days before I need to leave to visit my family for Christmas. So yeah, I should probably be packing or cleaning. But I'm doing a project instead. This is not surprising to anyone. Anyone surprised? I should not be surprised. Well, this project was inspired by a recent thrift find. You guys know I love thrifting, putting outfits together with secondhand items. I also love thrift flipping, or taking things I got secondhand and changing them up into something different, maybe fits me and my life a little better. I want to do this project so that I can take the final results on my trip, hopefully wear them around the holidays and into winter. And also, my sister has done a similar thrift flip project as well. So if I can finish my garment and then she can bring hers, we could show you both of those side by side, show you two different takes on the same project and how they turned out. Today's project is going to feature something I haven't used before. A nightgown. Yeah, if you're picturing kind of cozy grandma style flannel nightgown, maybe some lace poofy sleeves, plaid, that's exactly what we're working with. Plan is to turn it into a dress. Now, I've seen other people do this, and it's turned out really cute. Turns out kind of cottagecore-y, kind of vintage-y, definitely kind of 90s inspired. And who doesn't want to basically wear a flannel nighty in regular life? Like, if you could get away with that, that would be great, right? The only problem is I think mine is going to take some work. I've already started on it a little bit, and yeah, we got some work to do. But if I can get it done, could be pretty cute. We'll see. Hopefully we're starting off this year with some cozy, fun, secondhand projects. See if you get inspired to maybe do a little thrift flipping of your own. Maybe a little thrifting. We'll see. Get yourself a warm beverage. Get cozy. And let me show you some of that thrifting footage, and let's talk dress. We need to get to thrift flipping. Let's get started. Well, hello, plaid cozy nightgown. Yeah, I got kind of excited when I found this at the thrift store. I do love me some plaid. I do love me some flannel. I don't generally wear a nightgown, though. And I was kind of thinking, this might be a great candidate for a thrift flip. Because I've definitely seen a few people, including my sister, who've taken thrifted nightgowns and turned them into more like daywear dresses. And they can be very cottagecore-y and cute. And also, of course, cost-effective because you got it at a thrift store. And then you didn't have to make the whole dress. You just modified it. Hey, I want to try it. I want to see if I can turn this dress into something I could actually wear in public, theoretically, and not look like a granny. I don't know. I got some plans for this. So let's take a look at some of the things I want to change and talk you through what I'm thinking. Okay, to start with, we've got some very interesting lace here on the bottom. And I think somebody shortened the nightgown and then added the lace as part of their hemming process. A fun idea. I am not really a lace person, though. So I think that needs to go. Should I add a ruffle at the bottom? Who's to say? All right, let's keep going. Let's look at the top. Okay, pretty typical kind of blousey nightgown fit. Let's take a look at these buttons here first. It kind of looks like I'm missing a button right about there, but I actually removed the button on purpose because I wanted to see if I could match those buttons, at least in size, and find something maybe a little more interesting. These guys are just kind of flat plastic with writing on them. To me, they look very much more like nightgown buttons or PJ buttons than, I don't know, than something you'd wear on day wear. I don't know. They're not cute. And I think if I change the buttons to something more kind of day wear leaning, maybe that'll help. We like quick fixes, right? So that's something I got to do. This little guy up top, I think he was added. He's a different type. I'm thinking, what if I remove that button? Kind of change this yoke neckline a little bit. I don't love the neckline. I mean, it's cute for a nightgown, but this definitely looks very nightgowny or like little kid dress. So what if I take off this button and then fold the edges of the neckline back, even a little more than this, and then kind of create like a faux collar in front? I don't know. It might throw off that neckline just a little bit, a little less nightgowny. Speaking of nightgowny, we are pretty darn gathered here in this area. The whole thing is a kind of a big rectangle that's gathered to that kind of yoky neckline. So I'm kind of thinking I might want to run some elastic at kind of like the waistband level, a little, maybe like just a little channel of elastic, and then I could gather it in. That would give, you know, a little bit of waist definition and throw off the nightgowniness a little bit. Maybe I could add a sash. We'll see. I'm still trying to decide what I wish to do with the sleeves. Got a little more of that lace, contrasting lace. I'm not thrilled with the contrasting lace. I think this would be easier to turn into a dress without that, because it's very cutesy. But we are on a little bit of a time crunch here, so I don't know. May end up leaving the sleeves. They may just have to be cute. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, another idea is, you know, possibly shortening the sleeves, turning them into a puff sleeve. I think that would actually take this in a less nightgowny direction. When my sister did this project, she also shortened her dress to like above knee length. That would also totally help. Maybe turn it a little more, I don't know, 40s almost. I really like length though, so I may leave mine long. I have a few other ideas too. Let's get to sewing. Let's get to tackling at this and see what happens. Well, speaking of other ideas, I have some contrasting flannel that I used for another project. And I'm kind of wondering, hey, what if I maybe, I don't know, bring in some contrast here? I like how the cream background of the new flannel would pick up the brightness of that lace and maybe play with it. So, you know, what if I added like a belt of that? Maybe I could even add like a ruffle at the bottom or add some detailing on the sleeves. I don't know. Again, might take it in more of a dress direction. We'll see. So I'm trying to think, what do I want to tackle first? I think at least my top 3 priorities are adding the elastic in the waist, because I think we need that if we're going to try to turn this into a dress. I think that's one of the biggest things we need. And then I think I definitely want to change those buttons, and I definitely need to take off that lace off the hem. Maybe just rehem it, maybe add a ruffle of this contrasting fabric. I don't know. But waistband, buttons, and lace. I think that's what I want to tackle first, and then we'll see if we have extra time to maybe add a sash of the extra fabric, maybe add a ruffle, maybe change the sleeves. Oh, and I do need to change up the collar thing too. Okay, so maybe I have 4 top priorities. Collar, buttons, waistband elastic, and hemming. That sounds like that's going to take a while. Let's get started. Okay, guys, well, I am tackling that waistband issue first because I feel like that is the thing that really has to happen to turn this into a dress. I will say, though, I'm getting a little slowed down, but I think it's going to work. Let me talk you through what's happened. I tried the nightgown on inside out and kind of just marked where, like, I wanted, like, the natural waist to fall right about there. I was kind of measuring just right above my hip bones. My first thought was to make the tube for elastic. Maybe I could just mark a line and then fold like a little, make a little fold in the fabric, basically make a little tuck and stitch it, and then, you know, leave an opening so I could put elastic in it. Just make a tuck of the fabric. However, this button placket was like right smack dab in the way of that, and I definitely don't want to make a tuck of this because it's super bulky. Speaking of bulky, I actually already removed a button on here so we could be working with it. So instead, I've got a strip of some extra flannel from another project, and I've ironed under the edges a bit. My thought is, let's sew this to the inside, right over that button placket, all the way around. And we'd stitch, you know, stitch near the top, stitch near the bottom, and that will make a tube that we could stick some 1/2 inch elastic into eventually. And that'll gather, then we can, you know, I'll have to leave an opening so we can insert the elastic, and that will gather the waist. Okay, so how big is this flannel strip? Well, it's kind of extra long. I'm going to have to see how much length I need. But it's about, you can see lots of marks on here because I've been messing around with this, trying to see what I want to do. This is about 1 3/4 inches big. And then I measured in about 3/4 of an inch and ironed that down on each side. I wanted to make sure I had enough fabric so that I could sew and you actually catch that edge, but then I need to have enough space in between the stitching for this guy to fit, and I think it's gonna fit. But yeah, that took a lot more brain scratching than I thought it would. I've ironed this now. I need to make some marks on the dress to make sure I know exactly where I want it to go. And then I need to pin this on. I will probably put like a cutting board on the inside of the, I'm going to call it a dress now. Put it on the inside of the dress so that I can like pin this down without accidentally catching the other side. Of course, we got to make a tube going all the way around. Yay. Let's start doing that. Well, that was kind of fiddly and kind of took a while, but I think we've got ourselves a channel for the elastic. I also left a little gap right here so I can insert the elastic in there. I'm hunting everywhere for my bodkin. I can't find it, so I think I will be using the little safety pin technique to help push that elastic through. I think a few other things on the list for tonight may be replacing the buttons. Kind of hard to see these guys, but man, I've had these guys for a little while. Very cute. Got like a little design around the edge. Really vibrant cherry red color, and I think I have just enough. So hopefully those will be really cute. I might also play around with that neckline a little bit. Remember, I was going to remove a button and maybe fold a little bit of a collar. I still have to remove that button there though. we'll see. I think I'm going to try to play around with those things. Tonight, I may even be able to remove the lace off the bottom. I am still thinking, do I want to add a ruffle? Do I just want to hem it? Not totally sure. But those are on the list of the next steps. I'll see how far I get tonight, and I'll show you the next day how it goes. Well, hi guys, we're back. You saw we got the elastic there into our waistband, and I just stitched up that little gap. So I think it's time to look over towards our collar. I want to kind of play around with that, see what I want to do. I also need to put those buttons on, and I still haven't hemmed it yet. So let's get to collaring. I was doing a little bit of ironing of our new collar here, trying to play around with it, see if I liked it. I think this is just what I'm gonna do. It was here. I'm just folding it down, and I'll be doing some little stitches, probably, just by hand, just following the edge, stitching it down into place so it'll stay put. Then, of course, I still got some of those white buttons on there, but I do need to add our red ones instead. Hopefully those will be really cute. Well, I just cut that lace right off the bottom, and I think I'm just gonna hem it. Just gonna do a rolled hem, not gonna add a ruffle or extra fabric at the bottom. Just gonna roll it into a tube, stitch along, and keep it that way. This is about a midi length on me, and yeah, I think I'm fine with that. If I had more time, I might do something more exciting, but I think that's okay. We'll just keep it simple. Okay, guys, well, we're getting pretty close towards the end of our project here. I've been cutting out some strips of that extra flannel in order to make a belt. I've got 2 strips here. I think they're about 36 inches long, and they're about 6 inches wide. I'll be sewing these strips together end to end to make one really long one. Then I'll be folding them in half, sewing it closed to make a tube. I'll also do another line of sewing along the top edge to make a really flat sash there. Of course, I'll need to turn that right sides out and finish the ends. Okay, so we got the sash we got to do. Then I do need to sew on those buttons, tack down that collar, and finish up the hem. Then I think we're going to be pretty close. So I'm going to get to working on that tonight. Hopefully do some packing tomorrow. And then I'll have to show you what this looks like once she's done. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yay.
Woo.
All right, so I made it. We did finish the dress. It did fit in the suitcase. And now I'm here visiting my family. I got my sister, and we're going to show you what the dresses look like. And it's a good thing that they're technically nightgowns, because it's going to be really challenging to not wear PJs today. Because this feels like a real PJ day.
It's PJ core.
It's a PJ.
It's high-end PJ core.
PJ core. When you
PJ
don't
core.
want to wear real clothes,
But you have to wear socially acceptable PJs.
make a dress out of a nightgown.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm actually feeling this vibe today. I think we've
I
cracked the
love it.
code, the holiday experience.
PJ core brought to you by the PJ sisters.
Partners.
Partners in PJs.
Partners in PJs. PJs branded.
We craft in our PJs. We need merch.
Yeah, who wants to be our merch manager? Okay, so we have 2 nightgowns. You guys have seen mine so far. We're actually going to switch over to a little bit of footage that Lindy took when she first bought her nightgown before you transformed it, right?
Yes.
And kind of during the transformation process. So we're going to switch over to that footage right now. Okay, nightgowns as dresses. How did you find this thing? What inspired you?
Well, I actually found this dress last holiday season. I found it before Thanksgiving, so I have worn this to a family Thanksgiving.
That's why I got inspired to try this, by the way, because I liked hers, and I was like,
yeah.
Like, I wasn't quite sure that you'd upcycled it. When I first saw you wearing it, I was like,
yeah, I had been
did you buy
seeing
this?
a lot of plaid or flannel dresses
Mhm.
online. I would definitely felt targeted by these plaid dresses. And then part of me was like, they do give off kind of a like nightgown vibe. So when I saw this nightgown at the store, the like neckline detail was just so really beautiful. And then I was like, this should be a relatively easy project because the neckline was great. I could tell that it was going to be a little bit big and then obviously too long. But the sleeve seemed like a good length. I liked the neck the way it was.
Nice to not mess with either of those things because that can get deep.
I definitely had a moment where I was like, ooh, do I really like want to take on this project? But for this one, I would definitely say it was a relatively easy upcycle. And it's cool because for your nightgown, I feel like they're so different and they're very different processes to upcycling each one. And it's cool, like you could find one that's going to take more time to upcycle, but you could find one that's pretty easy to. And I'm definitely now on the search for more nightgowns for PJ Core.
Jeez, PJ Core people. Let's make it a 2025 thing because I just want to wear PJs for the next year. So let's do that.
Yeah. And the flannel and the plaid are very popular.
Ah, yeah.
Super popular now. Like the dresses, but like I can't spend like $100, $150.
I have been tempted.
Yeah.
I got close. I got really close. But then I was like,
beautiful.
Can I make this?
They're
I can make this.
Yeah. But then you don't have to make it because you have like an already made garment and all you're having to do is make it more adjusted to your body,
size
which
adjustment.
is really cool because I feel like even with the ones online, a lot of them are like a baggier or less fitted style because it's meant to be for everybody. But what's cool with these is you get such an individual piece at the end of the project.
Cottage core meets PJ core.
Yeah, meets Christmas core.
Oh, Christmas core. Yeah, could be more involved or not.
Yeah, and if we ever do make it to Scotland, we could probably wear these all year round there.
Hey.
Wish us luck.
Life goals.
2025, 2026.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Here we come.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to eventually not be wearing our PJs. We're going to change from PJs to PJ core. And we're going to show you what these dresses look like together.
And you tell us, would you wear them out in public?
You know you'd want to.
They look pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be like, oh, that's
I don't think
PJs.
you'd be like, those are PJs. Yeah, why are they wearing their PJs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We look good.
Now we're going to be comfy.
We make PJ core look really good.
At the end of the day, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change. Let's show you what these look like. See you guys there. Maybe I should lower it down so they can see our PJ pants, because, I mean, hey, it's a look.